Hey family, welcome back. Welcome back. Here's an update about the lab grown meat. Guys, it's already here. They are pushing it out and they are trying to shove it down our throats. So stay tuned and listen to this article. This is Shauna from Moments with Us. So here's the report because the issue as time go on, meat is going to be a real problem when trying to buy meat, especially from the supermarket. If you're not raising your own feed, and you're out there shopping like me, buying meat could soon be a real problem. So this report says some lab-grown meat pushed by WEF and of course Mr. Gates as a remedy for climate change. Everything is pointed towards climate change, guys. Is made of immortalized cancer cells. Technocrats appears keen to preclude the masses from eating real meat in hopes of combating the specter of climate change and making more money. So basically, they do not want us having real meat. While there's a significant push underway for people to surrender steaks, burgers, and hot dogs and instead eat bugs, guys, and algae. But honestly, guys, as all of this stuff becomes unavailable to us, they are stocking up their docks and their undergrounds with all of the items that's becoming unavailable for us. You know, they will still have the real stuff. We know this. We've said this plenty of times. They will still eat their steaks. They will still eat their chicken. They will still eat their shrimp. They will still eat their fish. They will still eat their meat. But they want us to be the test rats. They want us, to have their lab grown meat. And that's what it is. It's not for them, it's for us. Climate alarmists and elites alike are also hyping so called synthetic, because that's what it is, synthetic meat. This alternative may prove too much to swallow for many consumers in light of the present lack of health data about what such laboratory production might do to consumers. Let us know in the comments down below what you think is going to happen to the consumers as they take in this lab grown meat. So it also says that basically synthetic meat causes cancer. We're not going to read too much of this background. Of course, the link will be in the description down below. It says, I'm going to start from here, guys. It does say you can get used to the taste difference. And the claim is they're going to make it taste even better over time, of course. Now, the better something tastes, honestly, the more that someone would buy it, right? And that is the plan, to make it taste good so that people would actually buy it. Eventually, that green premium is modest enough that you can sort of change the behavior of people or use regulation to totally shift the demand. So Mr. Gates, yes, Mr. Gates, contends that fewer methane emissions from livestock will help combat climate change. It won't just be the planet that will allegedly benefit. He seeks to turn a significant profit. Having invested in various companies that create fox meat and plant-based meat substitutes. Are you all seeing more plant-based meats in your local stores? Next time I go to, I think it was Walmart. I cannot quite remember. But even I think it was Walmart. Even in the children's, like when you're looking at products alone, they have a plant-based section for children now, like certain things that I didn't see before. I got to make sure to get some great pictures of that in the next time so I can show you guys, but let us know in the comments. Are you seeing this as well? Even for the children, it's a plant-based chicken nuggets, plant-based hot dogs, plant-based, but though this stuff was already there, it's more so signaled for children because they make the creative little boxes like with Elmo figures and Elmo pictures and Coco Melina, whatever the favorite characters are, that they put on the boxes so the children can look at it and be like, hey, I want that. Not knowing what it really is to at least get them to try it. Um, so cancerous lab meats, yes. Let me know how you all feel about this. Though a lot of people are going to say, well, there's a lot of things that causes cancer and a lot of stuff that we're eating now was already unhealthy. Well, does this make it any better? Um, to me, honestly, right now, you actually have options. That's the point. You actually have options to go to the store and actually choose what you want. Soon, it's not going to be like that. You're going to be able to get what is there, and that is it. And there's not going to be a lot of options. So, Elf Farms started up in Israeli, right? So, they were the first company actually to produce steak in a lab. The same, well, I don't know if it's the same company, but it's from Israeli, guys. Um, they actually have, like I stated before, they have a soon to becoming lab made meat factory coming up in North Carolina, guys. So they said you will be eating replacement meats within 20 years. Here's why. Which claim lab meats could be created more efficiently and had fewer product risks than conventional meat. I don't see how that's true. They're saying a piece of lab meat is more sustainable, and it will reverse deforestation and help limit global temperature rises. And to think it's not out there already when it is. It says a California-based and Gates-backed company that makes so-called meat from chicken cells was subsequently cleared to begin selling its product as soon as the U.S. Department of Agriculture inspected its facilities, which I think is done already. So they plan on bringing this doctored meat to restaurants as early as this year, so it should be out already. And I think here it is right here. So another California-based lab meat company, Good Meat, has an application pending with the FDA. The Netherlands-based Mosa Meat and Israel-based Believer Meats reportedly are also in the talks with the FDA to basically start this whole lab-grown meat process. So it's going to be going through a lot of different companies that a lot of people actually shop through already, like Beyond Meats. They said Good Meats. A lot of these things that we already see on the shelves are going to have this lab-grown meat, actually. Here's where they start talking. A cancerous knockoff. So it says there was a recent report noted that for decades, companies such as Pfizer Inc., Johnson & Johnson have cultured large volumes of cells to produce vaccines. Now, aren't they already in some nonsense with producing them daggone jabs and people falling out like it ain't nobody's business? Look at the bigger picture. Look at the plan. Eat this meat and imagine if you're going to just fall out like some of these people falling out after taking that jab. Now, the idea is that we might all have to eat these cells too. So these are like some of the same cells that they're actually going ahead and putting in the meats. So the antibodies that they're planning on using is the monoclonal antibodies and other biotherapeutics, okay? But now what they're saying is if it's coming from these cells, it's no different than, lab grown meat is no different than regular meat. That's what they're trying to justify. But if you're using cells that's coming from something that's cancerous, now when you go ahead and you take that and you clone that, no matter what you do, you're going to have cancerous meat. And then for the next person to consume it, I want to see the people that's making this stuff consume it. So what's happening is some of these companies, they are using these cells. It says several companies, including the big three, are quietly using what are called immortalized cells. Immortalized cells are a staple of medical research, but they are, technically speaking, precancerous and can be, in some cases, fully cancerous. So this is what you will be putting into your body. So the first immortal cell line came from someone named Henrietta Lacks. It says a black tobacco farmer from Southern Virginia who had cervical cancer. The cells were taken and used without her knowledge or consent. Without her knowledge or consent. So they can just go on and get it from anywhere. So this magazine reported that her cancer cells have been used many times over, including in space for zero gravity tests, and the polio vaccine, in cloning and gene mapping, and for in vitro fertilization. Now, speaking of that polio vaccine, wasn't there like a polio outbreak a few months ago, and they was pushing everybody to all of a sudden get this polio vaccine all over again? So these so-called immortal cells modified to divide forever. So this will be the future. This is the future, meat at least. Defying the normal limits of growth, making them unmistakably more like cancer cells. And they are grown in vats called bioreactors where they can ultimately generate tons of cell masses. So that's the issue with the lab grown meat. You don't know like where they're getting the cells from. It can be from anywhere, whatever's cheaper for them, but costs more for us. That's the plan. Whatever is going to be cheaper for them. They took this lady's cells. She did not consent, and they used it a various amount of times for a various amount of things. So just imagine what the future holds, especially if you're not getting things that you want now. The concerns about chicken tumors and cancer burgers may ultimately be discounted by climate alarmists and journalists. Legal teams are evidently reluctant to dismiss them altogether. So it could happen. I see something that you have to, they want you to sign a waiver before consuming the meat. And it's crazy. If you got to sign a waiver to eat something, that's definitely something that you just don't want to have. You don't want to eat that. So I'm going to leave this article right here in the comments down below. Hopefully you all enjoyed this video. You can read the full article at your own convenience if you do enjoy. Listen, I don't know what the future is looking like. But with the talks of everything and with Mr. Gates putting his name on everything, trust me, it's not good. It is not good. So get what you can while you can, while other things are available at this very moment. Because trust me, they're going to make it look good. They're going to make it taste good. And they're going to make it smell good. And it would become part of the new normal. Less for them, more for us. Trust me. And when I say less for them, it's going to cost them less and cost us more to buy something that's not even real. It's already being pushed out. Let us know how you feel about it. Would you be ready to try the lab grown meat? It's ridiculous what happened to the lady, how her cells was used without her knowledge. Her cancerous cells at that, without her knowledge. So yes, we're going to leave this video exactly where it's at. If you want to see or read the full article, it will be in a pinned comment down below. Thank you all for tuning in. If you enjoyed today's video, please go ahead and help us out by subscribing to the channel, becoming part of the family, and turning the bell on so you are notified when I upload. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you all stay prepped, stay blessed, and stay safe. Most of all, remain beautiful kings and queens. Until next video, this is Shauna, and I'm checking out from Moments with Us. Peace.